This conference will now be recorded.
You ready?
Yeah.
It is September 8th at 7:04 PM. This meeting, Conservation Commission will now convene. First up tonight, we have notice of intent. DEP 104-1122 continued from July 14th, 34 Doe Hollow.
They have requested a continuance.
Next up, what? To when?
Requested a continuance until our next meeting on September 22nd. So I recommend the commission make a motion to continue the hearing until that date at 7 PM.
So moved. Second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next up, we have notice of intent. DEP 104-1124 continued from July 14th, 111 Old Sawmill.
Also requested a continuance until September 22nd at 7 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next up, we have notice of intent, DEP 104-1125, Lot 6 Jensen, M&G Land Development.
Get moving.
Oh.
Come on, we were on a roll here.
They've got the plans.
Neil Jackson, JP Engineering
That's the right one,
Services. I'm here representing
Yes, this one.
M&G Land Development for construction of a single-family home with an on-site well, septic, and work within the 50-foot, within the 100-foot buffer, outside the 50-foot buffer of the vegetated wetland.
Goes in.
Stephanie and I went out to the site last Friday and we confirmed the wetland delineation. The wetland delineation was more than satisfactory. There is still a stormwater permit to be approved, but neither of us foresee that there will be any significant changes to the stormwater permit as a result of the reviewing boards. No work will be performed beyond the 50-foot no disturb zone line. I have written into the permit that the 50-foot no disturb zone line, which also coincides with the limit of work, will also constitute a permanent limit of work line. If Neil is amenable, the options I've thrown out are boulders placed every 25 feet or a split rail fence to serve as that permanent limit of work line, and that will function as similarly to our other projects where that permanent limit of work gets picked up on an as-built plan. That as-built plan gets recorded at the registry of deeds to serve as a permanent deed restriction, restricting any further work beyond the 50-foot no disturb zone line, if the commission is amenable to that, and the applicant as well.
So you're suggesting an as-built plan with that on it?
Correct.
I think that's excellent.
And as we've worked with Neil in the past, we've just drawn on, like X markers on the limit of work, 50-foot no disturb zone line to serve as that permanent limit of work.
But that's not the as-built. The as-built will have a,
Oh, yes, but I'm saying with the current plan, what we have done in the past is just drawn some X's to mark the permanent limit of work. Is that amenable to you, Neil?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yep.
I think it's,
Any questions, concerns from the commission?
there's no natural heritage in here, right?
Not in this project area, no.
But on this, along the brook there is.
At the very back of this parent property.
Yeah.
The only other thing of note is that this is within the ORW to the Ludlow Reservoir, which has been noted in my findings of facts.
Okay, hearing nothing from the commission, from the audience.
I move we close and issue an order of conditions allowing the project to proceed as conditioned.
We have a motion.
Second motion?
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Thank you very much.
That's so easy. You got another one.
Next up, 104-1126, lot 7, Jensen.
Still Neil Jackson, JMP Engineering Services. This is a single-family dwelling on the abutting property. Same thing, outside the 50, working within the 100-foot, single-family dwelling, on-site well, septic, driveway grading within the 50-foot, within the 100-foot. Nothing proposed within the 50.
So the limit of work, there's two lines here. There's the pink line and the purple line.
That's the limit of work. That is the 50.
Okay, and will that be the permanent?
Yes.
So this is the same as the other ones? Okay.
Yeah, and it's, again, it's basically.
How many lots are there some over
They
on
have 10,
Aldrich?
so this basically continues.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or maybe Thompson, sorry, but anyway. Yes, there are some lots on Aldrich, but we haven't even perk tested those yet.
So this is all the ones on Jensen?
These are all Jensen, yeah.
I don't have anything.
I do have a question for you, Neil.
Okay.
So, since this is the limit of work, like, does it, and this is also for the commission, does it make sense to locate the limit of work along the 50 or along the silt fence line? I don't know that we have the ability to lay down a permanent limit of work on this section of the 50 or on this section of the silt fence line because it's not along the 50 NDZ. So I guess, but you had said before that your plan was to locate the permanent limit of work along this line.
Oh, okay, that's what I just asked.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
we could locate it with boulders along the limit of work. Just that if you give them the limit of work down here,
Oh, yeah.
they
Well,
could be moving into the 50, so.
well, and that's why, like, my thought was like, you guys weren't planning on coming back here and clearing.
No.
So that's why I didn't know, but again, I don't know that we can regulate a permanent limit of work that's not on the 50 foot.
Well, you can because you're still within the 100, so you
Well,
can
sure.
regulate it whatever you want within the 100.
But if you're gonna locate that NDZ
Right.
on that line, I mean, if that's.
But on the other hand, if they're not clearing that, they're not going back there, it's not gonna be easy to put permanent bounds back
To
there.
put
either.
bounds back there, that's kind of what my thought was.
So
about.
So I would just do that, and if a future owner comes back to us, and we'll have this on file, and we'll know what the story is.
So when you say that, you mean
Yeah, no, I would go,
along the cell
I would
fence
go
line, the
there.
limit of work?
Yep.
Okay,
I
cool.
mean, these fit together like this, right?
Like this, yeah.
And so this is somebody else's property.
Well, it's the same owner, but yes.
I mean, but we can't say, we could allow somebody to do something back there in the future.
You could potentially, yeah.
Yeah, the adjoining property doesn't have an issue with the wetland, because again, the wetland isn't on that property, so.
I move we close an issue with the same order, same conditions that we had in the last.
We have a motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Any discussion from the audience? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
Great, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thanks, you.
Thank you. Moving right along.
That's the signature page for number 7. Thank you, folks.
Next up, we have a request for determination of applicability. Lot 117, Amherst Road.
Hello, everybody. I'd like to push the process forward of constructing a duplex on that lot. As of now, I have an approved septic design, and the next step in the process was to file the EPA -1 form. And I went with Ward Smith, wetland specialist, and then I have the form in front of me for you guys to see, but, there's no wetlands on the property, and it's more than 200 feet away from the nearest brook. So everything should look good.
So wait a minute, why is he here in front of us?
Because his wetland scientist, Ward Smith, recommended that he obtain a legal determination from the Conservation Commission stating that the project is outside of wetland jurisdiction.
Do we have a locus? Can I see where it is?
Scarborough Brook is only
Next
8 feet
next
off
to,
the property.
No, it's 290
That's Fred Berry's.
off the property.
So
This
this,
is the auction.
this is, huh?
That's the auction.
That's probably the auction there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else want to see it?
So just for clarification, where the wetlands, or the brook in relative to the construction?
More than 200 feet.
More than 200 feet.
You're right. They flagged the edge of the back of the brook. So that's the start of the riverfront area. The riverfront area is 200 feet wide. It's 209 to the property line.
I've worked with Ward Smith many a times. I trust his work. And based on the septic design that is part of the application package,
There you can,
I do not foresee any work within the riverfront area to Scarborough Brook. Because again, Ward's letter, he flagged a mean annual high water line on Route 9 to Scarborough Brook. And that, the distance from that flag to the property down of this subject property was 209 feet. And then when you look at the septic plan, the work is on the opposite side of that property down.
any questions, concerns from the commission? Do you need more time?
I move we issue a negative determination.
Second?
number, whatever. I don't know.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
I'm sorry, what was the motion?
Oh, wait a minute.
I can't hear.
The motion was that we would issue a negative determination, meaning that the work as proposed would not have any impacts to any resource areas or the stream.
So this would have actually been a negative box one, that the area described in the request is not subject to protection under the Wetlands Protection Act. Because there are no wetland resource areas on the property.
If you're what?
There's no wetland resource areas on the property, so the area described in the request is not subject to the Wetlands Protection Act.
That good or bad?
What was that?
Is that good or bad?
That's good,
No, I know one.
that's good.
And he's wanting to build next to my line. So a lot of this I don't understand. We've had another meeting. And now this is a second meeting with this young man.
What they're saying is we have no jurisdiction,
Okay.
all right? And this is just a formalization or a formal declaration that we do not have jurisdiction, all right?
Yes, sorry, thank you.
You're welcome.
There's no wetland
On his property.
Right.
I'm all that now.
You must be downstream.
I'm next to the stream.
Yeah. I will also recommend to the commission that you folks make a negative determination box 6, stating that the work described, area and or work described in the request is not subject to review under the local bylaw.
So moved. Was a motion, wasn't it?
Second.
We made a new motion?
That was my recommendation
For the bylaw.
for the bylaw.
Oh. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Yes.
You're all set.
Shall I send you the original paperwork to your address listed on the form?
Yes, please. I believe
Are you
it's
sure?
address. Can you remind me of what address I used on that form? It was,
Let's see. 136 Gould Road, Charlton? Okay.
thank you.
No problem.
Okay, next up, we have a request for determination of applicability for 51 Lake Drive for tree removal.
That would be me. Frank Byrne, I have a red maple that is dying, and it's very close to my house and my power lines, and we're seeking approval just to have it removed. It's been a problem for years, it hasn't fallen yet, but it's potentially going to either hit our house or our power line, so even we've been told the tree will not, it's not salvageable.
Do we have any photos or anything?
Yeah, there was a photo in online, Ed.
Was this the
When
one?
I spent all my time looking at it. PDFs, big ones.
Was this the one that was hit by?
The 537
Okay.
page PDF.
Yeah. it was
Oh, okay.
Dixie moths. We bought the house in 2012, and the way the left Dixie moths just.
Yeah.
Tree.
Right here. Okay.
And you said this is a maple tree?
It's a red maple.
Who told you that the tree is not salvageable?
Well, it's been a couple of people over time. I haven't had a professional arborist come, but it's been friends of mine that know trees.
Trail around the base.
I did have
I think they built it
about two to
kill it.
trees, and they said that it would need to be taken down.
So when I was out there last Wednesday or Thursday. I was under the impression that the tree could be trimmed and limbed.
The red maple right in the front of the driveway?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, one of the pictures you included in the RDA, and none of them were dated, so I don't know. But one of them was clearly during fall, where leaf fall would have happened. But this photo that I have from last week, it's got leaves on it. It's not completely dead.
It's not completely dead, but every year it has gotten worse. And it's something that literally go right on our house and our power lines. I mean, it's declined year after year after year. I really don't want to wait until it falls.
The original, like the application, you guys were looking to stump grind and remove the stump. That's not something that we typically allow
That's fine.
in any, like, buffer zone area, we don't.
That's fine.
Just for site stabilization. If you guys wanna look at this photo on my phone, apologies if the screen is disgusting. But this was the photo I took last Wednesday or Thursday. You guys are welcome to pass it around. And you can see the power lines in the photo. The utility lines to the residents. Also, my brightness is way turned down, so that may not be helpful. That's how I kind of preserve battery life.
So we would certainly keep the stump in place.
There's not a lot of
whenever-
top
We
there
just
for-
don't want the hazard.
I understand. Did you have any limb fall or anything from the wild storm that we had on Saturday night?
Leave this stuff.
From one of our red oaks, yes, but not from this red maple. But the red oaks we wouldn't ever look to take any of those. They're all healthy.
I did see along the back side of your house when I was there, that there was a bunch of healthy trees and stuff there, so.
Okay.
Yeah, we love the trees. We would not get rid of any of the trees if we didn't deem this one potentially.
Hazardous.
You know, my experience with red maples is if you take it out and you leave the stump, you'll have another red maple.
Yeah, you're gonna get cost concern.
I would like that, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fine.
So, I mean, I think, yeah, I can see taking the tree out, leaving the stump and letting it grow back what grows back. You can prune it so you get one trunk instead of 16. If you want. You know.
I mean, honestly, I would prefer to keep a tree there. I would plant another tree but if the red maple would regenerate, then I would be all for that.
I mean, that's been my experience.
Yeah, you get a ton of stump sprout for the red maple.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Stephen Will, did you see this photo of this tree?
I did not. Is that one you took recently?
I took it last Wednesday, I believe. Yeah, no worries.
It does look like that upper branch is devoid of leaves. It makes me think something's going on with it.
Yeah, and the power lines are right there. Yeah.
Photo as well.
And if you wanted to plant, I would also be happy if you wanted to plant another tree there, as long as it was a indigenous, non-invasive. I mean, we've got a list of plants that you could put in there,
Sure.
if you want to do that. But leave the stump.
I did also see a bunch of milkweeds, and it was fairly windy that day. I admittedly was looking to see if I could find monarch caterpillars. I feel like they were all hiding because of how windy it was, but there is definitely a bunch of milkweeds on the property, which is always cool to see because our monarch habitat is declining.
Yeah, we do have quite a few monarchs in there. So,
I was happy to see all the monarch or the milkweed plants, so. But Dave's point is true, you know, you leave the stump, you'll get another tree there. You just gotta make sure that it doesn't turn into 18 root sprouts. And pick the strongest one.
Problem is you're gonna end up with the same problem.
We can have that
15
conversation in
years,
like
right,
3 or
this thing
4
comes up,
years.
you're gonna have this.
When the root sprouts have sprouted fully, like to full stack.
I mean, you could either cut this,
But
kill the region.
we definitely
move it
understand the
down,
need
away
to
from it, just do it like.
maintain the
something
integrity
else.
of utility
I mean,
lines.
it's up to him, I guess that offer an
And,
option, but
Of
you're gonna get
course,
that
not
region,
having
it's gonna come way
trees
down, and
falling
it's gonna
in
have
the house.
problems in
Well,
10,
when
15
I was out
years.
there last week, I was
But
like,
that's just-
well, maybe there's an opportunity for it to live. But I didn't realize until I looked at this photo, the proximity of the town line. I think I just didn't see it when I was out there last.
Selby.
Because I was looking at the crown and not even seeing the power line to the house.
Sarah? Yeah. Any questions, concerns from the commission?
I move that we issue whatever, negative, positive, negative, determination, allowing him to remove the tree, but leaving the stump. And if he wants to, he can replant another tree. It doesn't have to be in that location. Matt points out that if you let this maple come up right where it is, it's probably gonna interfere with your power line again. And so.
I figured that would be a problem for years down the road.
It will, yeah.
And so you could put another tree, but in an indigenous, non-invasive specimen in that location or another location.
Probably not white pine.
No pines. How about another red maple?
Yeah, I'm thinking another red maple.
Red maples do well there.
We have plenty of red oak on that property. I don't need more acorns.
Okay, is everybody clear on the motion?
So that was a -3, David,
Whatever number.
under the buffer zone?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Alright.
Any opposed?
I assume you also want to waiver, I want to.
A -6 under the bylaw.
-6. I move we approve it, -6 under the bylaw.
First one passed unanimously.
Hmm.
So is that another motion?
Yes.
So we have a motion for -6.
The area
For the
and
bylaw.
work is not subject to the bylaw.
Second, we have a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. You're all set.
Thank you.
Shall I send the documentation to your, address of record,
Yes,
51 Laker Drive?
that'd be great.
Perfect.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Next up, we have the bills.
I'd like to point out that I like these chairs a lot more than the ones we have.
Oh, I hate this chair. Oh, God, yes.
That's an awful chair. This is a comfort
I'm
chair. Is it the same?
probably.
That's alright.
Here are the bills in order as which they are on the agenda.
And while the bills are going to be going around, does anybody have anything on the minutes?
I thought they looked excellent. My only comment on the forest cutting plan, I read 9, it's adjacent to Constantino Field, not behind it. It's to the right of it.
I think it's just a log landing that's adjacent to Constantino Field. Yeah, it's just a log landing with the skid trail. They're,
I mean, it's all on the other side of the brook, isn't it all? It's all on the other side of the brook from Constantine.
it is.
I thought the landing was over and back of,
Oh, it's on Hilltop something or other LLC.
Gay,
It's a auto repair.
yeah, or Gay,
Yeah,
downtown,
yes.
and that's on the other side from where.
Has, accounting told us just to start rounding the cents?
For what?
Well, I see one that was for 1,530.79, and it was rounded up to 1,531.
14.
It was 14,031.
No, I'm looking at step 4 to 6 engagement activities. The amount due is 1,530.79,
That's already been,
and then it was rounded up to 1,531.
that's already been paid.
So if it's already paid, why are we paying it?
No. That's just that portion of the bill that's
I
already.
understand, but are we rounding up, is accounting having us round these up now? I mean,
I'm not the one who rounded this up. This is the invoice from Pioneer Valley Planning Commission. This is the bill that we are currently paying.
so if I do the math, it should be 1430.79.
Yeah, no, we do actually round these things up. Yeah.
Why?
Because that's how math works.
So is this, we have a policy letter to this effect? I'm sorry, but I mean,
I do not.
so why? Is it not worth keeping 21 cents in the treasury?
No, it's not.
I know when I send out a bill, nobody rounds it up.
I mean, we don't have to sign it, but, I mean, we've never balked at some change, and this is invoice number 5. We've been paying them for the last year.
Well, I've never noticed it in the past before.
Matter of
I
fact,
did notice it here.
well, we don't have to pay it tonight.
Well, I'll pass it down. We'll see what everybody wants to do. In the meantime, minutes. Anybody have anything?
No changes for me.
They look fine to me.
while bills are going around, and we'll kind of get a third thing going here. What's happening with 122 Federal?
We have the attorney on the virtual here. So he's still muted. Essentially, the
No, I don't want to interrupt you. I let her
Oh.
set up the matter.
We need more time on that. We'll just,
I mean, essentially, well, I'll let you take the lead. Why don't
Okay.
you explain it to the commission? And please introduce yourself for the public record.
Thank you. My name's Vincent Pusateri. I'm a lawyer. I'm from Fitchburg, Massachusetts, and I'm representing the applicant. Matter came before you a few months back, and there was an evaluation on the property as to where to park 5 motor vehicles for open air storage for sale. And on the east-hand side is where the applicant was hoping to have them. And on the right-hand side, there was some gas tanks already installed for the fueling station, the gas fueling station, which is currently the use on the property. Around the back side, I'm sorry if I said that correctly. Yeah, the west side was where the applicant wanted to have the parking spots for the motor vehicles for sale. And on the east side is where the gas tanks were installed. We do have the, I don't know how to share my screen, unfortunately. I'm not that technically savvy, but the plan was in front of you. Around the western side of the property, you noted that there was some wetlands towards the rear of the property. And your evaluation at that time seemed to suggest that the better place to store motor vehicles for open air sale was on the eastern side on top of the gas tanks. We're hoping that you would, as a result of that hearing, those comments went to the planning board, and the planning board did incorporate those into its decision and does require my client to park the motor vehicles on the east side on top of the gas tanks. We were hoping to come back, and we were also recommending to make sure that we had an SOP or standard operating procedure in connection with spills. So I was looking forward to using that opportunity to come before you with the SOP. It was noted in the planning board that that should probably be reviewed by the Conservation Commission. So I was looking forward to using this as an opportunity to explain to you some additional considerations which might persuade us to parking the vehicles on the western side of the lot and away from the gas tanks. And generally speaking, I have somewhat of a narrative here, and I unfortunately was only able to submit it today. So if we can't reach a decision, if we need more time to look at this, I'm perfectly happy with giving us some more time, having a further hearing. The first issue that we have is the concept that the vehicles that are going to be displayed for sale may leak, which seemed to be the driving force behind the decision of the commission, which is eminently reasonable. However, I think if we we understand that each vehicle is being evaluated for sellability, making sure that it's in good shape to be sold. These vehicles are less likely to leak than the customers actually bringing vehicles onto the site to either park, use the convenience store, or park their vehicles for gas. And I think that the drawings that I looked at and the way that the lot's been described to me, I should say, show that the water on the lot actually would run down towards the street. And I do note that the commission noted this as well. You folks did note that the parking lot must drain into the storm drain that's in the roadway. And there was some discussion about getting a deep sub in there in the event that there's any road improvement projects being planned, which was probably a good idea. When we park, when we're directed to park vehicles on top of the gas tank, I think it creates some unintended consequences. So for example, there's going to be a lot more wear and tear in that general area. because we're gonna have to move the vehicles off for deliveries, which occur fairly regularly. When vehicles are on the lot, they're using the gas station for filling, they're using the convenience store, and a delivery truck comes onto the site, we're gonna have to move the stored vehicles off of the gas tanks in order to successfully fill the delivery. And human nature being what it is, I'm afraid that we're gonna find that the people that are there, the staff, which I don't wanna say we don't have, but great staff, delivery trucks may find ways to work around and try to maybe cut some corners as far as making the deliveries. So I think we're creating a potential condition there which create a larger environmental concern for the lot. Moving vehicles on a crowded gas station in this manner too could create an opportunity for more collisions and other damage to occur. The employees on the lot, and I did submit a certification for each employee that does work in the gas station, are trained. This is a 21J fund, which would allow us to access funding in the event that there is a catastrophic event with the gas tanks. Participation in that fund does require training. Folks are annually trained, and those certifications have been submitted. We incorporated a lot of that training into the standard operating procedure, and I also, part of that training does require visual inspections of the tanks and certain components of the tanks every 30 days. I've incorporated that we would inspect the spots where the motor vehicles are also parked to ensure that there isn't any leaking and to have those things addressed. And, having reasonable access to the tanks, particularly in light of an emergency, will definitely be delayed if we have to park motor vehicles on top of those tanks. So there's a couple of reasons there. We were looking to do a couple of things tonight. One is I'm asking you if you can reconsider, or we can have a further conversation about the location of the 5 motor vehicles that we want to display for sale. And then also, I did prepare a proposed standard operating procedure just to evaluate what consistent with the planning board's recommendations for your evaluation and further input. I did stamp it as a marked draft. I'll be available for the questions. Thank you.
That all sounds interesting and logically put. I would like a chance to, I think this came out of I wasn't expecting this. I'd like to go out and look at the site again with a copy of the plan and your standard operating procedures, and then discuss it at the next meeting and see see what I think.
What I will sorry, you continue, sir.
No, I interrupted you. Please.
Oh, okay. Having, read emails, from the gentleman and everything like that, I guess my biggest thought is when I had driven past the site for a totally different inspection and it caught my eye. I went back and looped around last week. The curbing along that entire side of the site is completely broken. There's not an exuberant amount of trash in the wetland, but the curbing is broken. So if there was any sort of, fuel leak from any of these vehicles, it could very well go into the wetland because that curbing is broken. And I'm gonna make an assumption that it's probably just from paving, not paving, snow plowing. So there's really no, there's no assurance from a site, like, construction perspective that we get a 100-year rainstorm and there's some effluent leaking out of these vehicles with this broken curbing. Doesn't matter how the site's graded to drain. You got that much water, it's going straight into that wetland. That, you know, that, I think that's my biggest concern. And we had had conversations about the integrity of the curbing beforehand.
That's what I was gonna look at.
I have photos.
Okay. But I mean, if there's some way to improve
Like
that
if we can
situation.
fix the curbing, but also make it taller,
And
instead
make
of like a 3-inch curb, make it like a
And-
6 or a 9-inch curb.
And put a berm in back of it.
Well, I feel like the curbing could serve as a berm,
But
if it's tall enough,
not if it gets taken out by the snow.
by snowplows, yeah. So, you know, that I think is probably my biggest area of concern, but the planning board won't make a revision to their requirements without the Conservation Commission's blessing, so. And apologies, I was out on site, Vincent, I did not get this draft SOP, prior to this meeting, but, you know, I feel like it's worthwhile, you know, we haven't had the ability to review it, so there's that. We can continue the discussion.
I'd like to review it and look at the site and also with the site plan where we're talking. I know the site. I remember when they put in the tanks and,
I do understand the concern about not wanting to park these vehicles over the tanks.
but you got.
I guess I didn't realize how tight it was until I was on site last week. So I do understand that concern.
But you also have, that's where your customers, when they drive in and park and then they go into the store, that's where they're parking over the gas tanks, I guess. So they're driving in and out, having a couple of cars there sitting there and getting moved once every week is less. But I'm happy to look at I would like to look at it again.
Yeah,
And I don't think when we made our decision last time, we had just sort of looked at the plan and I go by my experience buying gas there, so.
yeah, our recommendation was, to the planning board, was if you're looking at the gas station, to park cars on the right-hand side of the gas station. And so the request that's coming back around is to park these cars on the left-hand side. So,
I remember.
you know, there's a couple of things to consider, but not outside of the realm of taking a second look at it with more
Thank you.
information.
That's all I can ask for, thank you. So I would typically request from my client to probably try to fix the curbing, but I think maybe I'll have them do nothing until we have everyone get a chance to take a look at it, and then maybe we have a different or a better solution than what we might come up with in the intervening period.
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple of comments. I mean, this is right next to the wetland. I mean, how many feet between that parking lot and the wetland?
When it's full, 10,
10, right.
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, this would never be permitted at this point. But, I mean, irrespective, it's grandfathered in. But they're asking for a new use, right? I mean, an additional use on the property right
Well,
now.
cars are allowed to park there now,
Yeah,
but they're not, it's not a used car
lot,
lot.
right, yeah, but it's an additional use or different use.
Yeah.
I think this is an opportunity for the commission to hopefully improve the situation.
That's why I wanted to look at it.
Yeah, I think that, I agree with you. If there's, any kind of spill, whether it's with the existing use, meaning just the occasional, customer that comes in with a busted radiator and then they're spilling, antifreeze everywhere, and or, you know, a used car that's being, you know, for sale there, I think that again, this is an opportunity to improve the situation. And I agree with, I don't know who wants a berm. I think, David, you said something about a berm. You know, I think that whether it's, you know,
Just another, whatever, yeah.
curbing along with a berm and or, you know, how high should it be?
I was thinking 2 curbings.
I'm sorry?
I was thinking 2 curbings. One permanent one and then a second one in front of it as a sacrificial one.
Whatever.
Because they're gonna,
It's mowed down by the plow trucks.
yeah, you may have to put a curbing in every single year, but there'd be, behind it would be a permanent one that would act as your barrier.
Or you could do a concrete one rather than an asphalt one. I mean.
Yeah, but there
Yeah.
would, however you do it.
I agree.
Yeah, and I, you know, maybe, I don't know, I have an old photo, but is there any vegetation right now between?
Well, there's trees on, it comes, that's all fill.
Oh, you don't think it's gonna support?
Oh, no, it'll support it. There are trees there,
Yeah,
but that whole area is all.
That, yeah, that
There
is
used to
all
be a-
fill there.
Everybody talks about that being a pond in there. By Gates Garage.
Yeah,
right.
The parking lot in back was a pond. This is all fill in here.
okay,
But it'll support the way, it's got it's wooded.
Yeah.
Wooded with trees and
Yeah.
shrubs right along between the parking lot and the wetland.
okay.
Really thin road trees, right?
Yeah,
So anyway, I mean, again, I think I concur that, you know, looking for some kind of improvement with respect to the, you know, potential for any kind of environmental impact. And it's not like they're creating a, you know, some horrendous hazard at this point, but nonetheless, if it can be
Yeah.
improved, why not?
that's the way I agree.
I feel like that might be the way to meet in the middle.
So-
Is if we can, you know, and again, we haven't seen the SOP or whatever, but maybe we can, you know, look to improve the curbing, the potential berm. And then, you know, that's how we meet in the middle of, you know, allowing the car storage over there while also maintaining the integrity of the wetlands. But these are just thoughts coming off my head, you know.
So, okay, so at this point, I think we're all agreed. We're gonna take some time and look at it again, review the documents, review the SOP, and we will discuss this again at the next meeting.
Is that okay with you, Vincent?
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time and taking another look at it. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for attending our meeting tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for wearing a tie.
I tried. I took my coat off. I judged my audience. I said I could probably take my jacket off.
I do this for a living too. I've worn a tie to every meeting I've gone to for the last 45 years.
Good.
Except for the ones I sit on.
Good. Good. Thank you very much. Enjoy your night, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
as well.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Okay,
Can I say something about this bill?
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we still open that?
oh yeah, we haven't done anything with it,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
still open.
I'm a little puzzled because there's a total cost, previous bill, and an amount due. Okay, here at the end. And something isn't adding up for me here, okay? So, for example, you know, so it has community liaison compensation, total cost $12,500. And then next to it, it says previously billed $12,500. Amount due is $0, okay? And the next one down is where you noted, you know, there was a 79 cent whatever on it that was still amount due Although if you subtract $3,827 from 5,000, you wouldn't get $1,530.79. See, 12,505 minus 3,827, that's like 1,100 and some odd, not 1,530. Next one is 500, previously billed 55662. It was overbilled?
There has been some issues with our billing with MVP 2.0 because we ended up switching around our staff components and our community liaison components, and those billing issues weren't rectified previously. They weren't caught by PVPC's accountant, that's not their fault. It was me and our project lead that also kind of had forgotten about how we had shifted some of our staff time with our community liaison time, so we had to shift around dollars from some of our expense dollars for our engagement activities to paying an additional community liaison. I haven't crunched the numbers. I don't think, this is a 2-year grant, so I don't think that it's ride or die if we pay it tonight. I can confer with our vendor at PVPC, to look over the numbers, but I do remember speaking with her prior to the end of the fiscal year, before she went on 6 weeks of vacation because of how much overtime she had worked, to triple check the numbers, but there's definitely, we had made an accounting error, so we were shifting dollars around, which we have the money for, to cover, because initially we had only so many liaisons and so many staff persons, and we ended up shifting in a staff person for somebody who was supposed to be a staff person and made them a liaison, forgot to update the budget documents internally, still have the money to cover it all, but
Excuse me,
we may have.
is anybody following this?
Yeah,
So at this point, I'm gonna say we're not dealing with that tonight.
It's okay tonight, I will
We
investigate it.
need to have a better understanding of what's going on.
Those
I
two,
have the understanding, I just
two
can't
are fine.
explain it.
Yeah, that was my,
These two are fine, and so I think we should make a motion to pay those two. The other
Sounds
one,
good.
I concur with you, Ed, there's something I don't understand there myself.
I second your motion.
okay, we have a motion and a second to pay Stephanie's mileage and the annual dues.
Discussion?
Is there any discussion on that?
Just one question, this is pertaining to the mileage. Remember, it was probably 6 months ago or so, we had a discussion about the mileage rates. Please,
There's even a new
maybe I shouldn't
mileage.
ask.
There's a mileage reimbursement policy that has just been enacted, but the mileage reimbursement rate has not been increased as far as I have been informed.
Even though the policy says they will change the rate as necessary.
Is the policy
So-
intended to follow the federal
So when,
mileage rate? Okay.
so I did get on that, and I haven't been here since, so,
Oh, no.
so can you send me a copy of that policy?
Sure.
I don't know if this needs to be documented, this conversation, or put in the notes or whatever, but it just seems to be unusual that we have a.
So I-
revised policy, but not a
You know,
change
so this
in the rate.
is,
And the rate is considerably lower than.
I thought I had dealt with it back then. So this is a new development. I was not aware of it, so I gotta see what's happening.
Is the policy town, is it a Concom policy or? is
No,
it-
it's a-
No, this would be a town accounting. This would be,
Which I find interesting.
Between them and the select.
because I think that we may be some of the only people that actually use our own vehicles for work purposes. IT has their own town vehicle. I just saw that today. So anyways, yeah, yeah.
so, as I said, if you'll forward me this, new policy, I'll take a look at it and I will follow through as necessary to get some answers. Like I said, I thought it had been resolved or was going to be resolved. I didn't see it resolved, but.
So can we make sure we add this to the agenda for next week?
It's not really something for this
It's not
board to
something
deal with.
for our board to deal with, no.
So I
This is something for me to take up with the administrator and the selectmen.
let's pay the bill.
Yes,
And-
because if we don't pay the bill, then she's not getting anything.
I assume the policy is less than the federal standard, is that what?
Yes, quite a bit.
So if we.
We're 70 cents under at least the federal mileage
So-
reimbursement rate right now.
New rates are
70
set.
cents?
I think 70 cents.
What are they paying right now?
We're getting paid .625
And I want
per
to,
mile, and the last time I looked it up, it was .670.
Yeah,
Maybe
So I'm
so
back.
it's a nickel a mile.
it's a nickel a mile. I mean, it's not.
We're getting underpaid like 50 cents a mile.
No.
.625
No,
to
you're not.
.670.
No, it's-
No, you're not.
.625 cents a mile to
.62 is 62 cents. .67 is 67 cents.
65 cents.
The difference is, it's a nickel.
Okay, sorry.
So I'm not saying a nickel is not worth fighting for, it is, but we're talking a nickel here.
Okay. I'm back.
So, as I said, if we don't do anything with it, Stephanie doesn't get any money. So we're gonna pay what's there. Well, anyway. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes. Wait a minute, I made the motion.
So we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any confusion?
Lots.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The bills are paid.
Yes.
The two bills are paid.
Two, right.
Anything on the minutes? Are you good?
I was fine with them.
Okay, the only reason I held that up is because you were still studying the bills while everybody else said they were
No,
good.
I'd read them before.
Okay, we have a motion on the bills, on the minutes, I mean.
So we'll approve the minutes as written.
We have a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes of August 11th are accepted as written. Next, what's that?
Did you wanna make it a change?
No,
No, you're sure? Okay.
I'm the only one that knows.
Yeah, I can't quite picture it, so I'll believe you.
If you just change, if you would change it to adjacent rather than behind, because if it were behind, it would be up in the disc golf section.
So next up, we have an enforcement order across from 268 North Liberty.
It's the same that's been on the agenda since our last meeting. It's not an enforcement order, it was an enforcement notice. I have an inspection with them on the 19th at 2 p.m. And we had looked at the enforcement notice at our last meeting. It was vegetation removal up to the wetland line. These folks.
Oh, yeah, I know
Have
where.
been cutting back this vegetation for years and years and years, and
So there is We have looked at this before. There should be a file that shows what was approved before.
Yeah.
There was a.
There was something out there. They've been in front of us
Stormwater
before.
permit?
No.
It was a wetland.
There's one.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
2008 is far long expired. I haven't seen.
Well, but it's something we've looked at before. That's a record
It's
of,
still a baseline.
and we let them do a certain amount of work. I think there was some regrading. At that point, there was a plan for development. Anyway, so that's great. Have a nice day.
It'll be fun. Well,
Okay. Next up, we have COCs. First one is 35 Lake Drive.
I did this inspection on last Wednesday or Thursday. On 9/5. Was that Tuesday? Anyways, I found no areas of non-compliance with the dock installation, so I recommend issuing a complete certificate of compliance and ongoing conditions.
This was a dock installation.
Yeah, there was
They had
it
their,
was stair repair and installation of a dock.
I remember that one.
And they've got their,
Chapter 91 permit and everything.
okay.
Did they put in a permanent or did they put in a removable?
It's a permanent dock.
Okay.
Hence the chapter 91 permit, even though removable docks are also subject to chapter 91 permits.
What's the dock construction?
Solid pier.
I mean, you went and saw it.
Yeah, I didn't look at the footings.
Well, I'm not worried about the footings. I just want to know what it's made out of.
Metal?
So an aluminum dock.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So we'll see. There's a reason people take their docks out of the water in the fall,
Yeah.
because the ice will destroy it.
Well, this property, there was no room based on the topography to have it be like a rollaway dock.
Well, there's lots of other types of docks.
And they're also based from the stair elevations where they just reconstructed these stairs and the length of this dock. I mean, I wouldn't want to pull that out every year. That's why they got
Well,
the chapter
but-
91 permit.
That's irrelevant, because they would have done the 91 permit anyway. So
Might be
the
gone.
91 permit has nothing to do with it. So I'm just making the observation that, there's a reason people pull docks out in the fall, because they don't overwinter, because the ice will destroy them. Having said that,
It's their business.
exactly. But I was making sure there was nothing in there that the dock got destroyed that was gonna cause a problem in the lake.
Move we issue a certificate of compliance. If it's been done according to the plan,
Yep.
we can't cure stupid.
Thank you, David. So you made a motion?
He made a motion.
I second it.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next up, we have 50 Greenhouse.
Sarah and I did a site visit out there with the owner, looked at the area of concern. We talked about this last time, looked at the area of concern, which is where the culvert had been,
Right.
and that it, Ed rightly so was concerned that it had been blocked and collapsed and everything else, and it was blocking the flow. And
Well, severely restricting.
it could have been potentially causing a backup upstream that by pulling it out would drain a wetland upstream. The culvert's been removed, a nice channel and banks have been established. Some of the fill on either side has been removed. And in looking at the topography above and below the crossing, it's on a pretty good slope. And so my evaluation was as much, the road would have overtopped at a certain point. And when you look at that grade versus the grade going up the slope, it was below any significant wetland. And so basically there was a wetland that was farther up that's hydrologically completely disconnected from this. And the wetland on both sides of the crossing were at the same elevation. So it's probably sort of a groundwater seepage situation. And I didn't see any evidence of really ponded water above it that was not there anymore. I didn't see any evidence, but I think it was a very good question, call to look at it. But I would say it is not draining the wetland upstream.
Okay.
Because that wetland is quite a bit higher than this crossing is. So I would recommend that we issue a certificate of compliance for this project.
That's a motion?
That's a motion. I'll move that, yes.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I didn't ask Sarah if she.
Passed unanimously.
She agrees.
Next up, 8 Pheasant Run.
Is this the one with the playground in the backyard?
8 Pheasant Run. Pheasant Run is after Granby Road, off Chauncey Walker to the right, before Bardwell.
I just remember, it's on the, I remember one where they brought their little kids in dressed up for a little playground in the backyard, and I told them it wasn't fair. Yeah, you can't do that. Don't bring your kids.
I saw no areas of non-compliance. Permanent bounds have been installed. The permanent marker plan has been recorded at the registry. So my recommendation is to issue a complete certificate of compliance with ongoing conditions.
Did we need an as-built?
We have it.
We have it, okay.
Yep.
I move we issue a certificate of compliance for the project.
We have a motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously. Next up, we have COC for 460 George Hannum.
Which one is this?
Rimbolds. Below Mike Soja. Go past the log cabin, take a right turn, come out of the woods. Cross the stream, and it's right here on the right.
The Window World?
Yes,
Correct.
that one.
Okay.
I did this inspection on August 26th. I also found no areas of non-compliance. I recommend that the commission issue a complete COC with ongoing conditions.
Really, what would the ongoing conditions be? Just an example. I mean,
No fertilizers.
So they're in the riverfront. They are in the,
okay, that's,
No application of road salt or de-icing chemicals onto the driveway because of the importance of the site and any resource areas, the groundwater supply. No pesticides, herbicides, or fertilizers used within 100 feet of the resource area. Maintain the stability of the site and the vegetative cover of the site.
Great.
Yeah, that was it.
Great, thank you. I'd just like to know what I'm.
Yeah, no worries, they can be pretty standard, but it can vary between what sites you're on.
I move we issue a certificate of compliance.
We have a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I want to just ask a real quick question.
Yep.
So Stephanie just mentioned, no, well, maybe it's Sarah also, no de-icing and no pesticide use and so on.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, how do we check even for compliance? Those fertilizer.
Well, in the old days, there was somebody driving.
Police. Fertilizer police.
Yeah, there is no fertilizer.
All we do all day is drive around and make sure nobody's doing anything.
No, that was my job. That was my job.
And a little minor tree.
No, I realize that it's a somewhat facetious, and it's, I mean, if the homeowner wants to cooperate, wonderful. And it's a great thing, but, realistically, no one's gonna check compliance.
If you, you put it in the order.
Yeah.
You put it in the conditions,
Yes,
at least they know about it. And conscientious ones, maybe you'll eliminate 25 or 30% of them. The other ones, if you're driving by and you see the True Green truck out there spraying fertilizer all over the place, you can send them a letter and say, look, it happens. If you've got a really good postman that's driving around over
Yeah,
there
I understood
and
the postman.
snooping on everything, every day of the week.
He doesn't have to snoop. He's just there.
observation, okay.
So,
Yeah.
but at least it is information that they've got that they should be, their lawyer may never pass it along to them when that it's on their deed.
I'm gonna vote for this. There's no,
No, I know.
I
Right.
understand.
You're absolutely right.
And again, it's a little troubling to me because we can put this in there, but the reason that there's probably a request for compliance is probably the property is being sold.
Yeah.
So
Yes, it is.
is the next owner even going to be aware?
That's where
They're supposed to
the
be made
attorneys
aware.
are supposed to
Their
tell the
lawyer,
new.
their lawyer should tell them this, and it's in their deed, how many people have read their deed,
Yeah.
But at least it's there and you can, they should be informed of it. It should be in public, it should be knowledge for them,
Okay,
educational.
enough said. I don't want to take a lot of time.
No,
I just
no,
want to ask the
you're
question.
absolutely right. I mean, there's some of these things are not enforceable. When I had one job I was working on that the conservation came out,
So,
for the certificate of compliance and looked down and saw all these funny little colored beads all over the place. And it was supposed to be no fertilizer.
Oh.
Had to do. It was good for me. I did a major groundwater study and on 1 acre.
so we have a motion and a second.
You asked for discussion.
We had, yeah,
We had the discussion.
so any more questions or concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes unanimously.
I did a mass balance equation of how much fertilizer to put on and how much water.
Although quite honestly, I would expect that stream is, well, tremendously better than it was, but it is downstream from a tremendous amount of agricultural fields. So that I'm sure have seen all sorts of stuff
And
through
a
the
sewage
years.
treatment plant.
I wasn't even going there, but. Yeah, but I mean, but all the state school fields and all the whole, everything at the state school would eventually make its way into that stream, so. So wait a minute, is this lot developed already?
Yes.
Which one?
So now, after the house is built, they're taking it out of the chapter? How did they get to build on it without it being taken out of the chapter?
The lot B is now developed, say the one after it was not developed. They're moving like 0.2 of an acre, they're moving the lot line.
So this is part of an A and R?
This is a right of first refusal.
I understand. So, I mean, when
Oh,
I
yes,
did
we
the
did.
site visit on the original, it was understood then they were building on the second lot.
Did we look at the A&R on our last meeting? Yes.
We have,
I
check the
don't
minutes.
remember. Oh, I wasn't
Yeah.
physically here for the A and R.
You don't have to.
I've denied you. Sorry.
So it would seem like we are dealing with 0.0348 acres. What's that amount to? Size of this table?
Yeah.
54 rural lot.
Yes.
It's in the minutes.
Yeah. I
Sweet.
use them too, very handy right here.
Okay. So let me see, we got a little tiny map here.
We looked at it last time for the
Yeah, so we do
A&R.
the A&R plan, it's probably in the office if you want to see it. Yeah, it's not in this room.
So from. Anyway. So we are dealing with 0.0348 acres.
Isn't the whole second lot coming out? The 0.03.
I don't know, I'm reading Attorney Maynard's letter.
This is the first I've seen.
Do you want me to go grab the A&R plan so you can picture it? So there's one, that, it must be 54 rural, that already got subdivided, there's 2 houses on it. And they're just taking this little sliver from the next lot after it that's undeveloped.
So the other.
So if it's coming from even another piece and they're moving lot lines, who is the applicant that has land in the act?
It's,
On the
it's on
paper.
the paper, it's a name I don't recognize.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Your COC has been issued, so.
Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, is that, you're here for this or?
No, he was here for the Pheasant one.
Oh, that, yeah.
Which one was he here for?
He sang for the COC for 8 Pheasant.
Oh. Was that the playground?
Steven.
It was the playground. So it looks like the only part of I don't even know, it's 61B, so it's recreation. So it's that's part of the one on A that's being transferred over to B. And B is in recreation, so they're asking for a zone change, A&R, not an A&R. They've asked for the A&R. Now they're right of first refusal to take it out. A still remains in it, or B1 still remains in, but this portion of it, which is going to the other one, they want to take it out. So just a little sliver. 0.038.
Why would the town want it? They don't. So,
Unless they just wanted to screw something up.
yeah, I suppose. All right, so do we need to make any kind of a motion on this?
Yeah.
So we need to.
So
say
So what this is they have land in is it 61 or 61A?
B.
61B, so it's open space and recreation. They get, because as long as they maintain this big piece of parcel undeveloped, they get reduced taxes because it's less of a burden to the town. However, the cost of that is that the town gets to put a lien on it. And if they ever go to develop it or sell it or anything else, unless it's like a transfer within the family that's going to maintain the open space, the town has the right of first refusal to purchase it since they've been allowing it to exist on reduced taxes. The alternative is that no, it's not an alternative. They're going to pay 5 years back taxes and they're going to take it out and then they can make it part of a house lot. So what we're going to do, this board is going to make a recommendation to the selectmen as to whether or not we would recommend they exercise that right and attempt to purchase it, or we recommend that they don't exercise that right and just let it happen. So the motion we're going to make is a recommendation to the selectmen as to whether or not we think they should look at purchasing it. Of course, if they look to purchase it, then they have to meet the full of whatever the value is.
$100.
Whatever it is, yeah. And they would have like 90 days to make it happen.
But it's not, is it in the town's interest to do this? I
No.
mean,
This isn't,
I would not think so.
I wouldn't recommend that we do it. I mean, there's no, we have a list of things that we usually look at. Okay, is it adjacent to other land that might,
Yeah.
is it part of a critical environment, or is it something significant? You know, I mean, these things drive me crazy, but I mean, we do have a list of criteria that we've used in the past.
This doesn't mean that.
And this doesn't meet it. It's a sliver of land next to a piece of land that's already developed.
Yeah.
And next to a parcel that it is going to be developed. Just needed a little bit more land to do it. I mean, if we pushed it, we might be able to prevent the one lot next door from being built on, but it's not a piece of open space we want.
So I make a motion that we recommend that the town not buy this.
Yeah.
Or not exercise.
That is
its
absolutely
right.
correct.
Okay, so I make that motion.
Second.
So we have any discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Those are very good questions.
We have a recommendation to not exercise that right. Okay, last up, we have a forest cutting plan on Aldrich and Jensen, which I'm going to send around.
I know what this one looks like.
This forest cutting plan is so the two lots that we looked at earlier on Jensen, having, like, their subdivision hasn't formally happened yet. This is for a commercial forest cutting plan, like, towards the back of that property, the parent property. It has obtained, there is NHESP designation towards the rear of that property. They have obtained NHESP determination. So.
What's that
that's
acronym for, Sarah?
The Natural Heritage and Endangered Species Program. So any project that is located in priority habitats of rare species, which is pursuant to the Mass Endangered Species Act, or estimated habitats of rare wildlife, which is pursuant to the Wetlands Protection Act 310 CMR 10.60. Well, if they concur together, they have to, the project has to be filed with Natural Heritage to get a determination on whether or not the project will result in a take of rare species or their habitats. The NHESP determination is attached to that forest cutting plan. I also don't know if I just did something wrong, but I just did the math on this Pioneer Valley Planning bill, and I think she rounded down 79 cents, not up. No, she
No,
did round,
30,
no, she did round up all of, the whatever is not 79 cents out of a dollar. But, I mean,
I don't
she
think that,
rounded up.
because I think it was less, actually, my heartburn was not the 71 cents. I mean, people are gonna waste a lot more than 71 cents correcting that invoice, but I think the bigger issue was.
$14,079.79, and she rounded it up to $14,000, or $14,031.
I think the hangup was really more with the balances, the anticipated cost for direct costs or the anticipated expenses for direct costs versus what's already been invoiced and what was left to invoice. The
What's
numbers
already been
weren't,
invoiced is already,
the numbers don't add up.
that's done. Those have been paid. That's why it says amount due, 0.
So, but the totals of previous invoice and left to be invoiced exceed the amounts estimated in the direct cost, the first column.
No, the direct costs are completely separate. Those are about mileage. Those are like, now, all these figures check out, with the exception of it being rounded up from 79 cents to $1. Yeah.
Must be UMass.
No, it's not UMass.
I didn't say UMass, I said new math.
Business major.
I thought I heard UMass.
I got A's in accounting.
All these already check out.
Yeah, what's going on?
All that makes sense. I mean, this grant was only for $95,000. It's not like it was like a $500,000 grant.
Can I make a quick comment on the forest cutting plan?
Sure.
I question why we need a wetland crossing if you've got landings on both sides of it. And I would prefer that they wouldn't cross Jabesh Brook with a.
Every time I make that comment, I get almost no response.
They are crossing Jabesh Brook?
They're crossing.
I didn't see crossing Jabesh Brook.
There's a WC1, which is wetland crossing. And they've got a landing on Jensen and they've got a landing on Aldrich. And so they could.
So I saw the two landings.
But there's a.
They're actually crossing the brook, not just the wetlands?
The brook goes.
Yeah, that happens quite frequently.
Yeah, and they did it on Thomas Brook in back of my house too.
Who's that forester?
Jacob Macco.
Does he live?
I don't know. I don't ask these questions.
You see what I'm talking about?
He's been
No.
our service forester for the past couple of years.
I still remember one of Carmine.
Yeah, come. See right here? This is a landing, this is a landing, this is a logging road. A trail, whatever. And they've got WC1, which I think should be wetland crossing. And they're crossing, this is Jabesh Brook right here. And why, and my question is.
So it's actually showing them going across the brook?
Well, they've got to, see the WC?
That's a wetland crossing, not a stream crossing.
Yeah, I don't think,
But the stream.
I don't know, I don't think, no, I don't,
Wait a
that's
minute,
not the brook.
Wait a minute.
That's not the brook.
You know what?
Brook is back
I
here.
stand corrected, but I still wonder why they have to do a wetland crossing if they are landing on both sides.
It may have something to do with the priority habitat. I'm just throwing that out there, probably not, but. Unless I just did this math wrong. I don't understand.
I mean, Jamish Brook crosses 181 down by 181, I mean, down by the S-curves.
Yeah, it turns and goes, it turns and crosses under Aldrich farther down. So, yes, this is the wetland that comes out, right by 181 and Jensen. You know, between
Yeah,
Jensen and Aldrich, there's a finger of wetland in there.
Yes.
And whether there's a culvert under there, over to the bog on the other side, I don't know. But no, you're right, there isn't a stream crossing that. I stand corrected, it's a wetland crossing.
I was gonna say, because a Jamish Brook crossing back there would be significant, they'd be building a bridge.
That's what I was thinking, but J-Bish goes under Aldrich out here, so I stand corrected. Okay, forget I was here.
Fired.
Good.
Well, it's still a good point. I mean,
Yeah.
they might not have to cross the wetland if they use both landings.
Yeah.
But
That's
we
what
really don't, normally we get these after the fact.
it is after the fact, it's already approved.
No, that one hasn't been approved yet.
Really? So if you could make a comment to that effect,
Great.
they have access from two different roads, they really don't need to cross that wetland. And or minor stream, whatever it is. So, we have exhausted the agenda.
And the commission.
Huh?
And the commission.
Almost.
What?
It's been a long day.
Can I suggest to the chair that we have a brief discussion about this
Please.
500-page?
Oh, certainly.
When can we take a no, it's not even early enough for a 5-minute recess, my bad.
Certainly.
So, so if I read the thing correctly, they're going to be, that power line, that right of way, crosses 20 wetlands
Oh, probably all of
In
that.
Belchertown.
in Belchertown, right, yeah.
I flagged
So
that.
it's roughly, it said 2.9, it's roughly 3 miles long in Belchertown. And it runs almost directly north-south through Belchertown. And there are 3 priority habitats, I believe. And
The state, two types of turtles and a third thing, I forget what it
Climbing
was.
fern,
Oh, it was,
probably a climbing fern.
it was some kind of a fern. So,
I looked for it in that right of way. Not in Belchertown, but both sides.
so Sarah, you need, if you're gonna get comments from the commission, individual commissioners, you're gonna need them by the end of the week?
I don't need comments from individual commissioners per se. I just need an overall comments. I mean, these
Sure.
DEIR processes
You don't have to have your name on it.
take a long time.
You can.
And if, but I need them, I need to be able to provide them to MIPA before the deadline of September 22nd, which is our next meeting date. I can't be giving them, I cannot be compiling these MIPA comments on the day that we have to meet.
So MIPA's doing its own review, right?
That
They take the comments.
they take comments
They take
from
comments
the
from
towns affected by the project.
Private citizens as well, or is that a
Yes.
different level of review?
I can't,
Private citizens.
I don't know.
They didn't
Because
say
I've
so.
never had to respond to MIPA comments.
You can have private citizens.
And then
I
what,
don't know, I mean, I'm sure this is all public record, most private citizens
So,
probably would.
I read that all the documents that we received,
They're in the.
there would be a hard copy placed in the library for public access.
It's in the
I think
environment.
only if we ask for it.
No,
They said it was gonna be there.
Okay.
I read that.
it's in the library, it's in the town hall. And if anybody requests one, they can get one.
so what's in the realm of like what, in your mind, what are the sideboards on what? I mean, you can raise comments, but like, what's possible?
Well, the,
For what now?
Well, in terms of modifying the proposed activities.
So they have a legal right of way.
Yeah.
For the land they don't directly own, everything else is privately owned, they have a legal right of way
Right,
to maintain this.
right.
More than likely, they are going to be able to do it. However, there are some,
But they're doubling the
I
width of
guess
it.
yes, but it's probably within their legal bounds.
It is.
No. Well, maybe.
Yes,
Is it?
yes.
But I don't know that.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, the state's gonna figure that out.
According to what they wrote, it is.
It's-
They could certainly make.
They
it
say
sound-
it, at some spots, their legal right of way is up to 500 feet wide.
It's within the right of way.
It's all within the, right. So it's not a take, it's not a
It's,
taking.
no, it's not a taking in that way. I think there is a taking, but not in that sense. So everything would be within their, whatever their jurisdictional right of way, the legal deeded right of way, whatever that is.
Outside of
But they have the right to maintain what they've already been maintaining. I don't think they have the right.
Well, that's for the legal, that's for the attorneys to figure out.
Well, no, they have a right to maintain what they've already been maintaining. It's considered to be exempt from the Wetlands Protection Act. And
Only if it's maintenance, not substantially
So,
enlarged in
well,
the facility.
that's part of her comments already.
And that's, I mean, by going bigger, they would have to file with us for a wetlands.
Oh, they're gonna file. They have to file.
And also natural heritage, they have to go, these are all permits they have to jump through after the EIR is approved. So this isn't the end of the road.
Oh, no, this is not the end. They're gonna be
So
coming
the
back in front of us with
The
filings.
EIR effectively is just letting the public,
It's
i.e.
just
us,
the public
everyone else, that this is what is their intention.
Uh-huh.
And so I guess, again, not having read, this thing from beginning to end, just looking at various pieces of it, are they going to expand the actual number of poles and the number of lines?
I didn't see that.
So all they're gonna do is they're gonna widen the actual
So-
maintenance way or the,
So my reading of all this, as much as I was able to deep dive into it, this is actually in response to the October 2011 snowstorm,
yeah, okay.
wherein multiple, especially in Connecticut, but also there were issues on Mass, and I'll get to that more in a second.
That was a
They had
transmission,
multiple,
distribution. Yeah, no
issues
transmission.
on the transmission lines as well as the street level, wherein some of these were down for up to a week, the major arteries of,
Yeah.
now, they also showed a map in there, and there did not seem to be a single issue, not one, on this particular line.
Transmission had very few issues.
Well, they still had some.
It was
And
distribution.
so there is a law now that they have to do more
That's
to,
beside the point.
so I guess there was a mandate that they needed to, the utilities as a whole needed to improve their reliability and their dependability.
We were the last town to get the power on.
Well, but yeah, that was at the street level.
Yeah.
But, as I said, this particular line from their documentation did not seem to have any particular issues. However, the biggest issues were down in Connecticut, and there were other lines in Mass that did have issues. That's what's behind it. I did not see anything about adding to the existing infrastructure, more lines, more towers, nothing of that nature. But they still feel that there was still the potential for tall trees on the sides to fall and take out lines. And so they are going to push their sides back.
If they could push the sides back, they could come back with their machines that just mow it. And wouldn't have to trim the trees. Now they have to come in, they take out trees and they trim vertically.
So here's my,
And if they could mow it with a big machine
well,
and keep it all the shrubs.
there's still a lot of
I
places
guess-
in there
I
that
guess-
can't drive at all.
I guess
I know, I walked them.
our responsibility of the wetlands, right?
That's right, that's the
Okay,
limit of
and so-
our.
And stormwater.
And stormwater, okay,
You
but
as a private citizen can go, there's all sorts
You
of.
can address all sorts of things.
the forest cutting really, from my perspective, okay, in upland areas is sort of like separate from this venue, meaning our time here tonight. So I guess my question is why do they need to expand within the wetland areas? Is there reasonable justification for a lot of disturbance? I mean, we're talking about a lot.
So, yeah, so,
And 60,772 square feet of clearing within wetlands at all.
so
In Belchertown.
the rest of
In
it is
Belchertown.
jurisdiction under the stormwater. Because the Concom is the stormwater authority, we actually do have jurisdiction over the whole frickin' thing.
Yeah,
And
okay.
that's, like, the numbers that I calculated doesn't include the swamp matting, which, I can concur that that's a minor exempt activity, potentially, depending on, the realms of where the existing utility lines are. But what I find is interesting, and this is just me from a site plan review perspective, is that they haven't quantified the amount of tree removal that they're proposing. All they're trying to quantify is the wetland impacts. And maybe that's because in other towns they're not subject to stormwater, but they are well aware that they are subject to our stormwater regulations. So why hasn't this tree removal square footage impact been calculated or quantified on any of these site plans?
Because this is a big broad brush thing. Somebody's gonna have to sharpen their pencils and really dive in deep for Belchertown part of it.
I feel like that's a level of information that should be clearly depicted on the site plan, but that's just me.
So sure, I think I saw on the, where they talked about their LiDAR analysis. I haven't read the full LiDAR analysis, that was a component, one of the things that they calculated was like the extent of tree removal. I haven't seen a table showing that, or showing how much is in Belchertown versus the next town, or wetland versus not, but they said they had done it.
So one of the things
Then why not put it on the site plan?
So here's one of the comments that I have, that not necessarily the purview of this board, except for the properties owned by the town. And actually, that is why I started to tell you, is why I spoke to Steve regarding this, is that just map after map, you just saw all this tree removal. If all the land is still in private ownership, yes, they have a right of way. Yes, they have the right to maintain it and do what they need to do. But it's still owned by private owners. And if private owners had gone and put any of this into a forestry management plan, if they had been harvesting firewood, they could have cut all that wood on their own and nobody would have said boo about it.
Unless it
So-
exceeded the 5,000 board feet.
Well, but that's not the point. The point is that the utility would not have objected if somebody had gone in there tree cutting or done other things. So my thought here is that there's going to be a massive taking in value of all the wood products that are going to be coming off this right of way, that the landowners aren't going to get compensated for. That if they had gone and harvested it themselves, they could have pocketed the money.
Also, just like on the notion of like all this alteration, I'm just gonna throw this out here for the commission to peruse. It would take a formal motion, which would probably have to happen tonight, because maybe the 22nd would be too late, or we could scooch it out to the 22nd and I'll send them the comment letter on the 23rd. But in my experience, I want a peer review of the wetland delineation. I don't trust this peer review, and that's in my experience.
Are we going to gain anything from that?
I think we could, 100%.
Well-
And in my experience with doing a transmission line project of 8 miles through Palmer, where there was a bunch more wetlands that had been missed on delineations, and that gave us a lot more latitude to require a scoping, a diminishing of the project limits. I mean, I can't field review all of this. How am I supposed to field review all of this? You know, I would send that to peer review, 100%.
So-
But the thing is, the thing is that that's all gonna require a filing with us.
Oh, it's gonna-
At that point, there will be a delineation.
Well, yes,
And-
yes.
And then we can send it out to.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there
Real
right
quick,
now.
under stormwater, how, do the drainage calculations change once they cut all those trees?
Sure they do.
We
So
haven't
then they have
done any
to-
drainage calculations.
Huh?
They think they're exempt from our local stormwater bylaw.
So,
Are they, yeah, that was a question.
They
Is it-
think that they're exempt.
Is this activity exempt from our bylaws?
No, not from stormwater
so
and not from
that
wetlands.
is where, that's where we're gonna need some professional outside review.
Well, this is.
No offense to you, Stephanie, but you're not up
Hey,
to,
what the
do-
heck?
no, but you're not up to all that.
I'm not up to all of it either. I don't have time to review all these wetland lines. That's,
Well,
It's a little different than a
that
rain garden in a
isn't-
single family.
Yes,
house.
exactly.
yeah, exactly.
So that should go in our letter saying, these
Mhm.
wetland boundaries have not been confirmed. The extent of the wetlands has not been confirmed in the field. Here, you know, and
Yep.
that has to be done under a notice of intent process.
Yep.
Or-
And I probably would CC Mark Stinson on all that.
Oh, I've already talked with Mark about it and he's
but,
like, I only know a little bit about this, but, you know, it hasn't gone all the
You
way up
should
to
just keep
him,
them in the
but-
loop, keep that paper trail.
Did they
Yeah.
state in the EIR that they were exempt from stormwater and?
I haven't gotten that far down.
I haven't seen it.
All I know is I haven't gotten that far down. I focused in on this because of everything else I've had going on. And I've been out of the office probably 50 to 75% of the time out of the past month. Which is why this came to you guys, you know, super late. And it's probably been more like a month and a half. I think that they still think that they're exempt. I've made it known to them that they are not exempt. There's been some preliminary conversations with Kestrel about how they could do wetlands mitigation for conservation projects. None of those will most likely come to fruition. But I think that they're not taking it seriously, that they are not exempt from our local stormwater regulations.
So
I'm not sure.
when
I
it's
mean,
all said and done, let's just play this out for a second. You know, there is in my head, no doubt, they're ultimately going to get to clear all this land if they so choose, if they want to go jump through enough hoops.
I disagree. But that's-
Well, I ultimately, I think they probably can. I think you're gonna find that there's,
A lot of roughs are. There's a
But-
lot of roughs on every, across.
ultimately, I would say, I don't know if it would come to this, but we need to be deciding right now if we try to hang tough on this, is how much of this, or how committed are we to defending this in court?
Well, the thing is,
I mean, we're still in the
it's a
DEIR
simple,
process, so we're-
I understand, but let's just play this, move
It is-
forward with it. Let's just play it ahead and see what we're
there's
gonna.
a simple legal answer to whether or not they are exempt from our bylaw or not. They are exempt under the existing, maintaining the existing right-of-way that they've been maintaining, they're exempt. There are exemptions to it. And whether the expansion of it is exempt, I don't think it is until it's there.
Well, that's what I said, the attorneys have gotta
Yeah,
give us an opinion on that.
But there's an answer to that, and we won't be the one that has to take it to
Nope.
court.
Nope, that's not, but that's true, but ultimately,
Yeah.
You know, if Belchertown's the only town that's got these issues, it might be us trying to field this alone.
I haven't read the Pelham letter yet. I'll look at
But
that.
it's all the same, I mean,
Have you talked to any of the other agents in any of the other
Have you
towns?
talked-
Only Pelham.
And who, Judy Eisman?
Yep.
And she's Kestrel still, right?
No, she's the chair of the planning board in Pelham.
I know, but,
I don't know what her involvement is with Kestrel,
oh, yeah,
honestly. I didn't ask.
mama.
But it's also
her letter
leverage
is
shoots very-
specific to a specific map sheet where there's a hillside slip and it's very site specific. Whereas for us, I would rather take a more holistic approach.
No, that's, I agree.
Rather than, oh, this one hillside's gonna fall apart if you clear 100 feet of forest on either side of the existing right of way.
I know that hillside.
Or the existing transmission
South
line.
Valley Road.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the geology or of the area, quite frankly.
So I have a question for, I guess for the commission, but probably best for you, Sarah. Thinking about process, in your email, you, Stephen, you shared that it would be prudent to ask for more time. I think those are my words, particularly what you'd said. Given the magnitude of the project and given how long the document is, I think we need to be operating under the assumption that we're not gonna be given more time,
No,
that
we're
you
not.
need comments.
We're not.
Yeah.
so yes, that's,
We're not gonna be given
I
more
mean,
time.
you could ask for that, but I just kind of doubt we're gonna be given it. So in that regard, you need stuff pretty quickly from us. And so what would be the most helpful to you?
I mean, again, I'm not trying to go, I think a lot of these comments from our discussion have been helpful. I'm not trying to put together like a 50-page comment response letter at this time, more just like a cursory, like, these are the things that we are looking at. And, Pelham's letter was barely even 2 pages long. I think that's the most helpful, but in your guys' review, if you want to still continue to send me comments, that will still be helpful because it could be helpful for the future as well.
So one observation was when I read through the September 2022, I forget the acronym of the document, but it's embedded in there. There's summaries of comments that are still valid today. And still very pertinent to Belchertown.
Yeah.
And, I can help point directly to them, but they stand out pretty well. Those are comments I wouldn't feel shy about resubmitting.
That'd be helpful.
So there's that.
Rather than rewriting the book, like, just
Right.
point me in the right direction.
Right, so, and I can help highlight those, but yeah. The other comment I have at this time, again, reviews ongoing, would be about the mitigation. I think to your point, and one way or the other, this project, it will happen in some form or another, and mitigation presumably will be part of it. And if that's the case, we may have a chance to shape what that mitigation looks like. They mentioned Kestrel Land Trust. I don't know if it's appropriate to preserve land for the loss of wetlands. That didn't seem like the right match, but there's other expertise here.
it's something along those lines
That's
might actually be,
Okay. They're going to expand the right of way by managing the vegetation. That doesn't mean you're gonna have an alteration of those wetlands. You're not gonna have necessarily a loss of them. You're gonna have a change of wetlands from a wooded swamp to a shrub swamp. And if you guys ever walk power lines,
I've driven power lines,
I've driven power lines too.
including the parts that can't be driven, I've driven.
So have I. And they're very thick and they're the worst things to do wetlands on. Because it comes in completely dense. But we're not gonna have a loss of wetlands, we're gonna have an alteration of wetlands. So there would be, I don't think it's unreasonable, if you've still got the square footage of what's considered a wetland, you actually have an increase of wetlands. When you do start to cut down all the trees, you get less evapotranspiration, you get more water at the surface. The wetlands expand under power lines.
It would be an alteration.
It is an alteration, but it's not a loss.
I
It's
thought
a-
I
it's
saw in there, they had a, okay, I just moved
I
back.
have-
I thought they had like temporary,
So,
well, temporary wetland impacts and then permanent wetland impacts.
Yeah.
And so I guess what you're describing would be a permanent wetland impact, but it would be just a conversion of one wetland type to another.
right.
Okay.
So, I mean, and what they're probably gonna say is, okay, you still got the wetland area, but we'll provide you another area of wetland of equal size as a compensatory. It's always the wetland bank that they've been working on.
Or some open space conservation.
Yeah, I mean, but,
Well,
I don't know.
I
So that, there's the
respectfully
mitigation.
disagree, David.
What?
I think that the amount of wetland alteration that they're preparing
I was,
or proposing, it does not, like, it's clearing impact. They're looking to take all the vegetation out.
what I was responding to was loss versus
The word, yeah.
alteration. You're still gonna have a wetland there, it's gonna go from a wooded swamp to a shrub swamp. And that's, under the Wetlands Protection Act, that doesn't work. Under the Army Corps, you can do that, as long as you don't fill it. But, I mean, it's purely academic on my part. I don't mean to belabor this, but I think you're on the right course. If you got comments about fish, you got comments about groundwater and hydrology, you got comments about turkeys. No, wildlife, I mean, no. We can all talk about Ed, I mean, no. No, but I mean, those are. that are specific.
I would,
But they have to, if they're coming from the commission, they have to pertain to the wetlands protection. Well, no, we're a conservation commission,
Sarah.
we're not just wetlands
Yeah.
protection.
have
So
you
you can
actually
expand your.
shared all this with Steve?
And comments
You
about
should.
the increased runoff.
And I would also share it
sedimentation to
with-
cold water fisheries and
Fire.
temperature.
I would
mean,
share it
those
with,
specific, I
well,
thought.
I mean, just because if they have comments, there's gonna be like for fire, that would be
Change your
fire access
habitat.
roads and
I
stuff
think-
and.
Honestly,
And,
Pheasant
you know,
would be one of the
Because
biggest.
it actually acts as a massive fire break, and if he has comments, let him make comments. It's
All right.
not gonna hurt anything for comments.
No, for sure. I find it, like, I feel like they should have shared it with them and it shouldn't have to come
I
from
would
me.
also, I know it's short notice, I would share it with fire, I would share it with Steve, I would share it with Linda, I would share it, with DPW. I would just, it's not their normal thing, but certainly if they can take 5 minutes to look it over, and if they see anything obvious or comments, it would be, more eyes on this is not going to hurt.
And also, private citizens can issue comment, you can write comments, and you can go beyond the purview of what the conservation, I mean, it is talking about.
I realize that we're getting late here, and I guess the reason I brought the issue up
Oh,
is, Sarah wants to submit a set of comments, and I understand that she doesn't want to wait till the 22nd to try to compile them and send them in that day. So my question to you again, Sarah, is what day? Is it sometime next week? Tuesday?
I would say yes.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday? I mean, I want to have a date to put into my calendar so that I can say, okay, I've got to.
If I could have comments by next Wednesday, so I could compile next Wednesday, the 17th.
17th, all right.
That would be ideal, that way I can put them all together, get them ready to ship out. Cause next Thursday is agenda payroll day.
Yeah.
Friday is joint inspection day, the following Monday is our next meeting, and I'm out of office office essentially all this week for meetings.
Yeah, that's fine, Sarah. I just
Yeah.
want a date to send you whatever comments I'm gonna pull together.
Yeah,
So,
I appreciate all the.
By
comments.
Wednesday the 17th,
Yeah.
you want the comments sent to you via email? That's okay?
Indeed.
Okay,
That would be helpful.
all right.
As a Word document?
just in an email, they
I
can
mean,
copy
it
and paste.
Doesn't
They can-
matter.
Yeah.
I'm a queen at copying and pasting.
You know, yeah, but I
It's my
mean,
favorite thing to do.
or she can read it and just incorporate it into her own words.
200 words a minute, it's all good.
Yeah, fine, okay.
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Awesome, thanks, guys.
And just all the emails generated from this, I'll say it again, just make sure all the emails generated from this get into the file.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
no deliberations about the, I mean, we.
Yes, I mean, we can read everybody's comments, but send all the comments, they're back for her. We can read them, and
Yeah,
if
send
we
them
read them,
directly
it
to
may
me.
trigger some thoughts of our own that we, you know, it may trigger, you know, it may.
Yeah, it may be in everybody's best interest to just send all of the comments directly to me, direct.
Well, yeah, but I would
And
still
then
like
I-
everybody to be able to read them.
Well,
But
I
we're
can
not gonna
share
answer
them
each other.
afterward.
But we're not going to answer each other.
Yeah.
Everything will be directed to Sarah, but we're gonna be able to, everybody's gonna get to read it, because we may see something, and say, oh yeah, that
Okay,
reminds me of something else to look at.
But it's open meeting law violation if we.
So, David, that's why I said that put all the emails into the file.
You're just explaining. I got it.
So anybody find spotted lanternfly in Belchertown? Yeah. So,
I had to
Whereabouts?
triple tap
Yes.
that in my house,
Really?
or in my friend's house. I was crashing over Sunday night into Monday. Found it inside the house. Reported it, well, I actually
The
found
spotted
it yesterday.
what did it
And
look
tried
like
to kill
this,
it,
or?
and it was very good on the, oh no, total fly stage, about yay big. With
Oh,
its
I've seen
wings
those
spread
things.
out.
Which one? So like this one or this one? Okay.
This is the stage they're at right now, and
Which?
they're straight moth
This one or
stage.
this one, yeah?
This one, yep.
I've seen those.
Yeah, those I saw in Connecticut, these one, that I just saw, yeah, with the wingspan, it was this big. I, had to three-peat it with a slipper, and those slippers will now go into the trash. But it was Martin Liberty, he was working at a house on 111 Old Sawmill, he didn't say which one. He found a dead one in the basement,
Interesting.
so they're out and about.
So, if we find this, what's,
The proper procedure is to take a photo and report it to MDAR, or, you Google, spotted lanternfly reporting Massachusetts. It'll bring you to the appropriate page. You can upload a photo if you get one or not,
and then what
and
happens?
then you kill it.
I don't live with the.
Well, yeah,
With
but I
a
mean, but
3D.
is there like a management solution?
Not that I'm aware of, but I haven't dug that deep. I'm just like.
I mean, I didn't know if there was gonna be like a big broadcast spraying of
What's that?
something.
Usually one.
I don't know.
They tend to group up. I've seen guys like take weed torches and just torch them. You see them all in the trees, right?
Well,
So you just take a
grapevines,
weed
maples, you know, just about every damn thing on there that they like, I have on my property.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm looking at, I've got an idea popping into my head, but I really shouldn't say on the air, but.
Well,
That's good.
I just wanted to make sure that
Nice.
folks have the information, because it's one thing to see one outside, but the fact that it was in my friend's house, that was freaking me out. And I tried to kill it, and it like flew off, like, on the wings of like my shoe. And then I had to chase after it and kill it.
Where'd they come from?
Asia.
Okay.
I make a motion.
Second.
He made a motion and it was seconded.
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye. Say goodnight.
I'm going to assume the motion was to
Thank you for coming.
adjourn the meeting.
It was to
Feeling well?
Increase the mileage conversation up to.
As I said,